have Gary Binas. Gary comes to us from Vibrant Voices Ventura Toastmasters Club, where he has been a member for 4 years. Toastmasters is similar to CDD. It's an organization committed to helping adults reach their potential. He has achieved the level of advanced communicator and competent leader. He got a bachelor's degree in chemistry from the UCSB, and since then has had 15 years of experience in the chemical industry. Right now he's the general manager for Alameda Chemical, which is the largest privately held chemical company in the western United States. Very good. He also serves on the board of directors for the American Chemical Society, the Los Padres branch. He is a published author. He writes about organic chemistry, which is pretty intense, I would have to say. And he's the co-author of 2 patents. So tonight, Gary is here to share some of his insights and thoughts about success by considering the don'ts in life. His speech is titled The 3 Don'ts. So please help me welcome Gary Binas.
Thank you, Mr. Rob. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, and especially the accomplished graduates of the CDD program. I'm truly honored to be here to speak to you today. The one thing that I wanted to get across is that I was inspired to write these words because I visited one of the classes. It's in Nopala with its full pride. I managed to meet Robert, the teacher for the course, as well as some of the students, and I see some of them here today, Vic, Jerry, and Morris. And so I wanted to put something together that wasn't a cookie-cutter speech, but something from my heart that I hope that you can take something away and inspire you as you walk up through that door, because clearly you have inspired me. Certainly the people that I've met have inspired me to greater heights because of what you are trying to do today. So let me give you why I decided to call this the 3 don'ts. A lot of people, when you graduate something, they're going to tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, I'm going to tell you the things that you shouldn't do, because I think it's actually more important. So the first point that I want you to not do, the first don't, when you walk out that door, don't be afraid. Very, very important point. Do any of you know Bill Gates? Bill Gates. One of the richest men in the world. He's also a college dropout. True story. 1973, he graduated from Harvard. He got a 1590 on the SAT. He goes there for 1 year, and he says, Mom, Dad, I'm out of here. Why? Because he had a great idea. I don't know about you, but if I had a great idea, I don't know if I could have left Harvard. I applied to Yale when I wanted to go to college, and they rejected me. So if I had this great idea, I don't think I could say, Mom, Dad, I'm leaving Yale. But Bill Gates had the courage to say goodbye to a potential education. The Harvard education is out, and he decided to walk away. How many of you have heard of Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs is the founder of Apple and the founder of Pixar. He's also, in 1976, the leader of a group that created a game for Atari called Breakout. That man was getting paid in 1976. He had a stable job. How many of you would leave a stable job because you had an idea called computers? Remember, this is 1976. 2 examples of people who overcame their fear. I have never done anything like that. And you know what? That's the reason why I'm not a billionaire. That's right. That is absolutely true. Those 2 men decided, you know what, I'm not going to work for Atari. I'm not going to just graduate from Harvard. I'm going to go out there and dream something. I am going to take the risk and try to make it on my own and overcome my fear. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, when you walk out this door, you will be faced with your fear. Somebody's going to look at your resume, and you're going to look back at them, and you're going to be thinking, am I good enough? You're going to think, have I learned enough? And your answer has to be yes. Has to be. You have to be confident that what you've started here today is a foundation for your life. And whatever you hear out there in the news, or whatever negativity that you're going to hear, you are going to need to overcome that, because you have it in your hands to build your destiny, to change your life. Nobody can do it for you. The reason why you came here to CDD is to change your life, and you need to take your step, move forward, and continue on that journey without fear, knowing that there are people out there who will put you down, who don't think that you have enough, but you have to overcome it. It starts here, and it starts by overcoming your fear. My second point, let's go back to a little bit of history. In 1985, Macintosh came out. In 1988, Dell Computer first opened their doors. How many of you remember the Commodore 64? Or the VIC, or VIC-20, or even the TRS-80? The internet, as I remember it, came about, first time I ever touched it was maybe 1995. Fast forward to 2004, we have Facebook, MySpace, and just this year, this ridiculous thing called Twitter. You all know it. Point number 2, don't stop learning. Technology's changed. In 20 years, the things that are available to us now have changed completely. One of my favorite sites is Google. The reason why is because if I don't know something, I'm going to Google it. I'm a tremendous football fan. Played quarterback for my high school. No, really, I did. But one of the things I did not know, I don't know why I didn't know this, is when you hear on the radio, people talk about 3 technique. I don't know what 3 techniques is. So I Googled it, and I learned something that day. Never stop learning. I do not want you to think for a second that learning begins and ends in a classroom. It doesn't. Learning is the process for which you decide you want to go from here to there. You have a question, find out the answer. Whether it's through Google or whether it's through the friends that you've made, I would encourage you to keep in touch with each other, because things change out there. Every one of you are going to go to different places, and you are going to learn something different. And if you keep in touch with your friends, you will be able to understand what's really happening in the real world. You'll be learning from each other. That's one of the most valuable tools of my life. Some of the people who I graduated with, they do some different things than I do, but they always keep me in touch with what's real, with what's relevant. Because sometimes what you read in a book is a little old. So learning never stops. Don't be fooled into thinking that just because you're not in the classroom doesn't mean you are not learning. You're learning every day, every time, every moment. And last